Hi guys, and welcome back for webinar 2. Again, I'm Rachel and I'm your instructor, and I hope webinar 1 was really informative for you and you guys have a better understanding about sodium and the importance of keeping your levels down, or at least within that GRI range. So, in webinar 2, we will be discussing how to read a nutrient facts label in order to shop correctly at the store on your own and be able to pick out foods that will keep you within your range of sodium for the day when you're going home and cooking. This will have to do with the competition that is going to be going on in your league, so pay close attention. Alright, so to first start out, I'll show you what a nutrient facts label is. It is regulated by the USDA and it is required on every single food item, other than fresh foods, but that, fruits and vegetables, that can just be looked up online, and it actually should be in the grocery store that the information on the product is always labeled. But this one's called supplement facts, but that is the same thing as nutrients, and obviously we've all seen this. Why am I being silly? So this gives you a little idea of what they all look like. It's a big white label, so that is your nutrient fact label. So I will explain to you how to read a nutrient fact label. My little chart here. So you're going to see the nutrition facts, and first you need to start here at the serving size. In this example, the serving size is 1 slice. Servings per container is an extremely important place you need to remember and look at, okay? Because any of this information is only going to be applying to that serving size. So this is serving per container 6 and it's sliced. So let's say it's obviously some sort of bread. It's not saying that there's 160 calories in the entire loaf of bread. It is saying it is only 160 calories in 1 slice. This comes into important things such as in drinks and nutrient facts labels. I have a drink right here I can show you. Well, this one says 1 bottle. So that's going to be regarding the whole entire thing. But sometimes with the larger bottles, it'll say, like say if I have a large Gatorade, it's going to say my calories are 120, and then you got to look at that serving size and you say a third a cup, and then it's going to say servings per container 4 or something like that. So there's 4 third cups in that Gatorade, so you need to do that 120 times 4 to actually get the calorie count. Okay? So then next you go down and then you can look at the calories per serving, remembering what we just discussed about per serving. The items here in blue are the nutrients that need to be limited. We see that sodium is one of them on there. So these first ones need to be limited. Obviously fat, saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, those are all things that need to be limited but can be learned in another lesson. But sodium here we see is just as important. So this webinar is very important. You go down to the carbs, your dietary fat, fiber, and then the ones in this bracket were talked about what should be you should be getting enough of, obviously your vitamins and minerals. And then what's really important to notice is the things that you're trying to keep count. Are you counting your carbs currently? Well, you got to look at how many carbs are there. Are you counting calories? Are you trying to keep your total fat and saturated fat levels down? Are you, in your case, keeping your sodium levels down? So you're going to go directly to those, and you should just know the basic order. But it's very easily labeled for you. Okay, so then just to give you, this orange box is really important because for sodium, this is what a lot of things are most likely going to be measured in. You're going to see that 300 milligrams, and we know that it's 1,500 milligrams a day, so that's really good and an easy way to calculate. But sometimes you're only going to see it really in percentage. So you need to kind of know, what does that mean? That percentage is out of 100%. So this item has 12% of that sodium that is recommended for the 100% of your day. This is based off a percent value, daily value, are based off a 2,000 calorie diet, which is appropriate for males of your age. Should be consuming around a 2,000 calorie diet. Depending on your weight and your stature, it might be a little bit more or a little less, but 2,000 is a good range, a good average to estimate off of. So that means if I have one slice of this bread, that is already going to take up 12% of what my total amount of sodium per day I should be having. And actually, in that circumstance, so it's 3, and that's just that is just what the USDA is recommending for the average general American. But what we have discussed is that it's 1,500 milligrams per day is what you need to be intaking. So if this is 300 milligrams in one slice, we know 300 times, what is that? Oh, 3 times 5, obviously, is 1,500. So you could only have 5 more or 4 more servings of that amount in order to stay within your range. But that's actually pretty good. 12%, you want to keep it around that 10% percentage daily value, 10 to 15% per day. Going above that is high for one item of sodium, because you have to think about, in a slice of bread it works, but then what are you putting? Are you putting turkey meat on that? That's going to have a lot of sodium. So you really have to kind of remember that and be able to balance that for your next activity. Okay, so to better talk and closely talk about sodium on the label, first of all, in this item, we see that it is 20% of daily value, 480 milligrams. 480 we know is a lot. It's very substantial. 20% is high. This is a high serving because it's just, one serving of something you're eating. That is a high amount. So we need to keep that under 20% in your range to be appropriate. Just on here it says, so yeah, check the percent daily value, don't forget. And sometimes we think that a food, if it doesn't taste salty, it's not high in sodium. This is absolutely not true. Remember, we use sodium for preserving foods. Doesn't mean it's going to have a salty taste. So we need to remember, if it doesn't taste salty, doesn't mean it is not high in sodium. But it's always going to be marked there on the nutrition facts label, so please don't worry. And this is once you start going to the grocery store and getting more familiar with what foods are and are not high in sodium based on your taste and your preferences, you'll be able to better order when you're out on the go. There will be quick references for you to refer to on the website. If you're out on the go, you want to go on your phone and go to your league website, and you're going to see the references tab. You will be able to reference easily and quickly select foods that are high and that are low in sodium to better keep your DRI in check. Okay, we hope that you learned a lot today in this webinar, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.